Good afternoon. Today I just wanted to talk to you about poly panels and mono panels and the difference in where you would use them. We actually just finished up. This was a year and a half ago. It was just one set of 8 panels going along that wall for 2,000 watts. And then last year, we added the middle row for another 8 panels and created another 2,000 watts. So we had that as a 4,000 watt array. And then just this last 2 weeks, we added this front row, which is another 8 250 watt panels. And now that's a massive 6 kilowatt array. And I can use this on either my Grow Watt 6 kilowatt or 12 kilowatt. And I can move them around and put them on either one, whichever one I want. But right now, this is on my 12 kilowatt. So one of the things I wanted to mention that I didn't know early on was a big difference between the mono panels that are up here, and these are poly panels. Poly panels don't handle shading very well and don't produce a lot in cloudy days like it is today, as where mono panels will do much better. And there's different panels. Some mono panels won't do and some will do fantastic. I have 2 different sets. I think these are LGs on here. You can see they show the individual cells, and over here they're dirty, but it's just a solid black on there. Those are mono panels. And then these are mono panels back here. So there's 3 different styles of the face of the mono panels. But see, this is the west side of the house right here. And that's the western sky right there. So the sun will set over here, and I have shading issues as the sun comes around the house. And I have to have these mono panels on this back over here, all over here, because of the shading from the sun coming up in the morning on the east over here, and it goes like this across the sky. So once it hits around maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock, these are pretty much in full sun over here, but they'll have partial shading as the sun starts rolling across them. So one of the things we do is we use our poly panels. We have 16 of them up there on those 2 pergolas. There's no shading issues, no trees, nothing is in front of them. Nothing is in front of this array over here from sun up to sundown. And then on top of these pergolas right here, we can get full sun on these from May 1st until about the middle to end of September. And we have 24 panels up on top of there going this span down here. That's a 10 foot, 12 foot, and 16 foot pergola side by side by side. And then these are 2 10 by 12 pergolas with poly panels over here, and there's 7 on each one for a total of 14. And the poly panels are all 250 watt, right around 8.5 amps each. And the sun will come up over here, and then as it comes over, by 1 o'clock, the sun is right here, and we're starting to get shading on here. And by about 2:30, the shading is all the way over here, and none of these panels from front to back are in sun anymore for the rest of the day. So that's not too bad. Over on this other side, when we were using poly panels by that RV gate, we had in the wintertime a problem where the sun was low in the sky right here. Right now, the sun is like overhead, if you could see it. But in the wintertime, it's kind of on like a line at the top of this light or the palm tree. So it kind of sweeps across this way in a low, but in the summertime, it's way up above. In fact, it's to the point where it's more northern than it is above. And what we had was We used to have poly panels all back here, and we just put mono panels in here in the last 2 months. So we used to have 1, 2, 3, 4 poly panels here, and then we had 2 of them up on top of there. Well, in the wintertime, we always had shading from like here over all day long on one panel. And one of our subscribers had told us we were going to have trouble with it, and I believed him, but I wanted to see how long it would take. And it took 1.5 years for a major problem with one panel. I only had one panel that went bad in the 3+ years I've been doing the solar. And this is what happens when you have partial sun on a poly panel all day long while you have another 5 or 6 hooked up in series or series parallel. It's not going to like it. The diodes that are in here and the way that these are wired up on the front is not going to like it. And the reason why I noticed it was going bad was on the front you could see it was burnt. It kind of looked copper or brownish black. But I noticed that if you look the rest, it's silver everywhere. So you don't want to use these poly panels in partial shading where it's most of the day or all day. You're going to end up having a malfunction like that and destroy the panel, if not have a fire. Now, I didn't have any smoke or anything else. It was just the plastic back there melted, and then it created an open, and the panels were basically disconnected from one another. So even though there was electricity being produced in it, it wasn't going inside or anything. It was like an open circuit, like they weren't open at all. So that was pretty lucky on that one to have that. So, but this stuck over here is fireproof. It doesn't catch on fire at all. It's cement with paint on it. So, but that's why I ended up putting poly panels, because the sun is way over on the other side of my house in the morning, and it comes across like this, or in the wintertime it comes across sky like this. In the summertime it'll come across like this. And you'll have partial shading where that leading edge towards the wall there will be in the sun, and then the sun moves this way towards us and then moves on to these panels over here and up there and there. So these are all mono panels over here now. And eventually I'd like to get mono panels on that other side, on the east side of the house. These I can use from May through September, and then I just don't use them anymore. I'll take them down and just store them for the winter. I don't really need the electricity during the winter because I don't need to run my heater. It's beautiful out here in the wintertime. But I just wanted to show you that on that array. And on the inverters in here, we are able to, that's 6 kilowatt. This is a 6 kilowatt grow watt. I could throw that entire 6 kilowatt array that we just built, the 3 rows of 8 panels, 250 watts each for 24 panels, 250 watt for 6 kilowatts. I could throw it on here, but I actually have it hooked up here. And then I have all those mono panels on the sheds and the other array by the RV gate and everything. That makes up another 6,000. So that's 12,000 watts coming in here. And then we have the solar panels from the other side, I think from the east side coming in here. We have the pergola next to that big 6 kilowatt array. Oh, going into this one. And then the ones on the 24 poly panels from May to September are going in here. So we have these 4 different inverters. And there's a reason why I have 4 inverters. So down the road, if my family is in need of a solar system, I already have them set up. They're already set up and running. And I don't like to put all on just one unit. So right now we have 28,000 watts in panels connected, and we have 12,000 of it here. So we're splitting up the other 14,000 between this unit, this charge controller, this unit, and this unit. So this one has 12,000 watts, but everything else is not that much. And this one, being 12,000 watts, is hooked up to 2 of these server rack batteries, which is 10 kilowatts. So this runs our main AC upstairs, and doing a great job. I'm going to get the server rack and more batteries for this soon. So just wanted to do that quick video on that, on those poly panels and mono panels, where to put them, how to use them. And these are all off-grid inverters, so those are all used panels, so we use those on all these. And out of 3.5 years, 108 panels, I actually have more than that, but those what I have hooked up, only one of them has gone bad and burned up like that. So we took care of that problem so that won't happen again, where there's full shading on one panel that's at least a third of the panel all day long. That's a no-no. So anyways, please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. We'll see you in the next video.